Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales of Kenzera Zau. A big thank you to EA for sponsoring this video so I could play this game early and showcase this new Metroidvania to all of you guys. And holy, is it a good one! Tales of Kenzera Zau is a 2.5D Metroidvania set in a universe inspired by African Bantu tales that takes you on a journey of grief inspired by the game's creator Abu Bakr Salim's own grief of losing his father. You play as Zau, a shaman warrior who is determined to bring his father back from the land of the dead. You are joined by Kalunga, the god of death, as your guide through mystical lands, searching for the three great spirits that you are tasked with taking out in exchange for Kalunga bringing back your father. Now, what makes Tales of Kenzera stand out from an absolute ocean of other Metroidvanias? The first thing that was immediately noticeable to me as someone who has played a lot of these types of games is just how many abilities you start the game with. You start the game with the ability to double jump, dash, mid-air dash, and wall jump. Most other Metroidvanias have you unlocking these types of abilities as you play through the game, and I gotta say that it feels real good to get these types of things right out the gate. Double jumping, dashing, etc. are all things that just feel good, both in traversal and combat, so it really makes Tales of Kenzera feel fluid and gives you a certain amount of freedom right from the beginning. I mean, Zau is a trained warrior after all, so it would make sense, also story-wise, that he's not starting out as a total weakling. You do, of course, unlock new abilities throughout the game, but these tend to be more impactful ones that allow you to interact with your environment in completely different ways. But starting out with these movement options was awesome. After playing through Kenzera Zau, I actually think this would be a fantastic first Metroidvania for newcomers to this genre. It has very little friction in regards to opening up your movement right away, but also in regards to the way the map works and navigating your way through the different areas. Icons on the map are automatically placed for you, so places of interest that you've been near are clearly marked on the map, and if you've already completed them, they turn gray to let you know you've already cleared that challenge or grabbed the lore, etc. Most modern Metroidvanias allow you to place your own markers now, thank goodness, but you can quickly get overwhelmed with trying to map out absolutely everything, especially for newcomers. In general, I would say that Tales of Kenzera does away with a lot of frustrations that can so commonly arise from this genre. Even in terms of backtracking to use your newly unlocked abilities to access a new part of the map, the game will tend to naturally take you to these areas via the story. There are, of course, still some areas that you're going to have to remember for yourself, but the game really does do a fantastic job of leading you there, which felt refreshing. There was never a moment at all when I was confused as to where to go next, or felt like I totally forgot a place that I needed to revisit now that I have a new ability. The whole map in general was just a pleasure to explore, and with the fantastic map design here, whenever I did want to track down the final thing I needed to 100% an area, I found that the map kind of gently guided me there instead of fighting me, which can happen sometimes in these types of games. Tales of Kenzera Zau also boasts a very strong story that is fully voice acted, even in these lore structures that you find throughout the world. These things are called echoes, and they allow you to get a deeper look into the current storyline that you are on. You can also choose to just listen to the small snippet of lore that plays as soon as you grab an echo.
Trauma never dissolves, like oil lacking on the surface of a pool.
Or you can choose to go into the codex to hear an extended version, which is also fully voiced.
Like oil lacking on the surface of a pool. In the heat of these deadlands, Zhao's mind shifted to Sabulana's warmth. The way it felt to make her laugh. That look she would give before they were to embark on deep treks into the forest against their parents' better wishes. The touch of her hand upon his. A kindling of romance yet to bloom. Her smile. A smile.
I really like that the game offered a solid story that's very easy to understand, but also offered players a way to learn more about the creatures you're fighting, the areas you visit, and the mythology you discover if you so wanted to. But I never felt like I was missing out on something if I didn't delve deeper. It was just a thing purely that I wanted to know more, but I didn't miss out on story context or anything really important if I didn't listen to it, which I thought was very well done. The story, as I mentioned earlier, is about grief, the stages of grief, and working your way through those stages. None of this is ever explicitly told to you, but rather it's subtly shown to you through the areas you explore, which are crafted to express an emotion, or through the incredible voice acting work from the entire cast.
The only way I can help her and you is to do my duty as a shaman, to allow her to pass on.
Let us just go and play some more, eh? Maybe if we keep playing, Impundulu will see how much fun we are having and will join in.
You can tell when Zhao is feeling desperate, angry, accepting, etc. by what the game is showing you, that it doesn't ever need to spell it out for you. It's also been incredibly fun to learn about a culture that hasn't really been explored in video games. Learning about the mythology and music of Bantu origins has been so enjoyable, and you can also play the game in Swahili the entire way, which also sounds incredible, and is definitely going to be something that I want to do an entire second playthrough in.
Namkosa mama. Ninamkosa sana.
Najua. Ninamkosa pia. Labda unafaa kwenda kumuona. Kumpa heshima na makumbusho.
Now let me just touch on the music because oh my god is it incredible. I don't have anything to say about it except it's just great. And this music is put together with some of the most beautiful art I have seen to create an experience that I very often stopped to listen and look around and just say, man, this game is really beautiful. I don't do that too often, especially in side scrollers, but man, I did it a lot in Tales of Kenzera Zau. I mean, I think it pretty much speaks for itself. It's just very beautiful. When Kenzera Zau was first announced, I actually said that it kind of gave me Ori vibes with its art, and after playing the game, I feel very good about recommending it to any Ori fans who loved that game's beauty. Now let's get into the combat, which I'm afraid to tell you is also fantastic. Combat is centered around managing two different masks, the Sun mask that excels in close-range combat and the Moon mask that excels in long-range combat, as well as crowd controls such as freezing, for example. The different masks also interact with the environment in different ways. The Moon mask gets an ability that you unlock that allows you to freeze water, whereas the Sun mask unlocks a powerful throwing spear that is used in combat but also to solve various puzzles throughout your journey. There is one unlock later into the game that really impressed me. I actually have in my notes, damn, that's a really cool ability. And that is an ability that is centered around the masks. It essentially allows you to deconstruct certain objects in the world with the Sun mask and reconstruct objects in the world with the Moon mask. I just thought that this was such a clever idea for an ability unlock in a Metroidvania that also took complete advantage of this mask system. And the game did a great job of having you switch between both masks to clear areas or give yourself new places to jump. There's also plenty of combos to discover here, both in each of the masks, but also between switching fluidly between each mask. Discovering new ways to use my combos and mix and match the masks was very fun, as the game does not spell this out to you at all outside of just how to do basic combat. Whenever I came into contact with enemies, I was always thinking about what would be the coolest way to deal with them. Do I want to freeze them and then put them into an aerial knockup combo, ending up with me throwing them into another enemy or a wall or spikes? Or maybe I just want to get the timing down on the Sun masks combo perfectly so that I can output more damage. There's no restrictions here at all when it comes to switching between both masks, and I found it very natural to start doing right away. It didn't feel ever like it was too much to juggle or I just end up sticking with one mask. The game also does do a very good job with enemy variety though, that will get you wanting to switch between the different masks, and they also do a good job with the skill upgrade tree to incentivize you switching masks. Speaking of the skill trees, let's take a look at them. In the skill tree, you have the moon skills and the sun skills, which of course upgrade the different mass respectively. On the moon mass side, you do have things like being able to deflect incoming hostile projectiles, having essentially an SMG that you shoot at enemies with your barrage of light, or the ability to grab projectiles and low health enemies and change wherever you want to throw them. On the sun side, you have abilities like Solar Quake, which allows you to go into the air and slam down, doing damage and knocking enemies. You can also make it better by getting Solar Flare, which makes it to where they will burst into flames when you do this to them. You also do get a spear, and you can upgrade your spear to make it pierce multiple enemies, and Ignite, which will add another way to make enemies burst into flames at the end of your light attack combo. There's also an additional way for you to customize your playstyle, take advantage of your strengths, or cover for your weaknesses with the trinket system. The trinkets that I found myself liking are Lifted Spirit, where you can juggle enemies in combat, which increases the amount of spirit that you gain, Battering Stance, where damage inflicted by slamming enemies into each other or the environment is increased, and for the final one, I went with Vigorous Spirit, which makes it to where I just get more health when I heal. But you also have things in here like Retaliating Spirit, where when you are damaged, you get more spirit. Spirit is the thing that allows you to heal and also the thing that allows you to do your super ability. So if you find yourself not doing so good in combat, you can get this and end up getting really powerful from it because you can heal yourself more and you can use your super more. Couple that with Eluding Soul, and then you have more resistances, which will also help you if you're having a bit of a bad time. These trinkets you find all throughout the map through various means, and you can select a number of them at any bench you see in the world to equip them onto your character. All of this comes together to give us, as players, so much freedom in how we use our abilities, the different mass, and how we want to customize our certain playstyle that every single encounter I had was fun and engaging. So that is a look at Tales of Kenzera Zau that I have honestly completely fell in love with. I had a feeling I would when they first showed it off at the Game Awards. The art, the music, the mask system was all super cool, and seeing Abu Bakr Salim's passion for this project also made me have quite a lot of faith in it. And I'm so happy to say that I really loved every single second of this. You can pick up Tales of Kenzera Zau for $19.99 US, which I gotta say is an absolute steal. The game is gonna take you anywhere from about 8 to 15 hours, and I think that for 20 bucks, it is absolutely worth that experience. So if you would like to check out the game for yourself, you can click the link in my video description to take you right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Tales of Kenzera Zau so far from this video in the comments. And a big thank you again for EA for sponsoring this video and allowing me to play it early and tell you all about it. Bye!